Support for today's show comes from Shutterstock. Every business needs high-quality images to attract and keep its customers. Whether you're making brochures or ads or putting the final touches on your next tweet, the visuals you choose are proven to make a big difference. So all you got to do, get started today with a 20% discount at shutterstock.com/crunchy. Use it and take advantage of it. Let's get to the show.
It's Friday and we are live. It's the Byte Extra Crunchy podcast with your host, Mr. Brian Tong.
What up, Beach? Hey,
What's
man,
up?
your lighting looks good, man.
Does my lighting look cool?
It actually looks, it just looks very nice and balanced.
Well, we got some new cameras, so I'm gonna
That
blame
must
it on,
be it.
I'm gonna
See, why
blame
don't
it on
you
the
talk
new
about
cameras.
that? The cameras look good. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Byte Extra Crunchy, Extra Munchy. This is episode 90. We've been doing it 90 strong. Again, this is our audio podcast. It supports the weekly video show that's only about 4 or 5 minutes. This is the show where you could get in depth, down and dirty, talk about some of the details, as well as new developments going on in the world of Apple. Also, this show is all about you all watching and listening. You make the show what it is, so we want you to call us, leave your number, your name. Not your number. Don't give me your number. Leave us your name.
We get their number, Brian. They don't know it, but their number shows up. We get it.
Oh, you know. I know. I could call if I wanted to. 1-800-616-2638. That's the number to call to talk to us, leave your name, where you're from, and just vent or expand or bring new information, or just want to talk about whatever's on your mind about the world of Apple. So let's just jump into the show, and we can't ignore the fact that was it basically yesterday? Technically, yesterday was the 10th anniversary of the original iPhone, the game changer, the phone that changed everything for everyone, whether you were an Apple phone user, an iPhone user or not, right? Whether you didn't want an iPhone, it still changed everything for you, because look at where we are today. It's crazy to think, right? 10 years, man.
10 years is a long time, and yeah, a paradigm shift, man. It was like a huge change for everybody. I know it changed my life. I'm sure it changed your life.
I think a lot of people, you know, some people don't understand like voice or tone, because yesterday I tweeted out, you know, to celebrate the 10th anniversary, I said, game changer, what an accomplishment. And then something along the lines of like, not as innovative as it was before. And then like ... smiley. And I can't tell you, okay, I'm going to just lay this out here. You all need to just like chill out and soften, like, not even soften up, just like get over the fact that if you interpret someone sliding your phone, you like take it real personal, like real personal. I don't care. Like, come on, we're having fun here. It's like, are you defined by your phone? Because I think a lot of people, they get so riled up when you say like, this phone sucks, that phone sucks. They take it personally.
Yeah, it's a totally cultural phenomenon going on with people and their phone love, you know. So, yeah, people do take it personal. It's really weird. I mean, it's just, you know, it's just a device that we push buttons
We're all
on.
blessed. We're all blessed to have technology like this. Like,
Totally.
This is mind-blowing stuff. Like, you could order a pizza from your phone and it gets there by the time you get home.
There's like
with your
satellites. I'm driving and there's like satellites tracking where I'm going and showing me on the road. I mean, it's, you know, it's incredible what they're doing.
What is there to complain about? I don't get it. So anyways, we just wanted to, first of all, before people think we're hating on the iPhone, because we're not.
No.
We are celebrating the iPhone. So for all of you, you know what, my original iPhone, because I moved a little while ago, I can't find where it's in some little white Apple bag, but I can't find my original iPhone. Like, that to me, that's like a gem for me.
You should frame it and put it on the wall or something, you know.
I should do something with it. But, you know, let's kind of roll into the show and roll into the stories of today. And, you know, to kind of also follow on the theme of talking about the 10th anniversary iPhone, this is a great story in Wired Magazine. Tony Fadell, if you aren't familiar with him, he now is part of Nest. He basically is the top dog at Nest Labs, which was then acquired by Google for somewhere around $3 billion. He was notably, at the time during his time at Apple, you know, people called him like the godfather of the iPod, but he was also there during the actual iPhone's development. So I thought this was kind of some fun nuggets. Again, last week we talked about what Scott Forstall talked about in relationship to the actual iPhone. This is what Tony Fadell said about the iPhone and kind of how it started. So Wired asked him the question, there's so many different origin stories for the iPhone. Why is this? And Fidel said, this is according to him, well, there were many projects that came together to make the final phone. There was a large screen iPod for video that had a touch interface. There was an iPod phone, which was basically an iPod mini, perhaps a little bit bigger with a phone inside that had a wheel and a smart screen. There was a touchscreen MacBook Pro being worked on and a multi-touch MacBook Pro that was going to go that's where they were at from a hardware perspective. There were also different stories of software projects. This was over a period of basically 9 to 12 months. Now, when you hear about a touchscreen MacBook, your ears kind of peak up because you're like, wait, why isn't Apple doing anything like
Yeah,
that today?
that's exactly what I did. I'm like, what? They were working on that long ago? It's crazy.
Still hasn't come out yet.
It's not
But
out.
look, I mean, I get what he's at least telling us they were looking at. He was saying that at the time, basically to get the touchscreen technology into a Mac at that time. They wanted to compete with Microsoft tablets. And this is funny. Fidel also says Steve was pissed off and wanted to show them how to do it right.
Totally, man.
So it totally validates exactly what Scott Forstall talked about last week. They realized though there was so much software and so many new apps that needed to be done and built, and they were also worried like we didn't know if they could scale it into a large full screen display at that time with the Mac. So really, this big size iPod with a display and a single touch system, not multi-touch. Because remember, multi-touch was a game changer. I mean, that is one of the biggest game-changing techs in any device, period, that we have from a technology standpoint. Because there were touch screens way long ago, but not multi-touch, pinch and zoom, rotate,
Yeah, yeah.
all that stuff. That was just a game changer in the way that we use these devices. But he was just talking about how they tried different ways to replicate kind of the wheel style of the iPod and put in a phone, but it just wasn't good enough. A single touch screen wasn't good enough. But I think the main kind of thing that you can pull from this is how it wasn't easy, and Apple was doing really 4 or 5 hardware projects at the same time. And I don't know if they're looking at it. I'm sure they have some sort of modernized touchscreen MacBook Pro concept in their underground bunker labs, but it's just kind of crazy that it's really more. But he even says it was more of a software thing. They didn't have the apps; they'd have to build new software. The funny thing is that's exactly the same thing that is affecting them right now, right?
Oh, totally.
You don't
Yeah.
have the software to support a MacBook Pro. Also, another cool thing in the story, they talked about the Motorola Rokr. Do you remember this phone
I
at
don't.
all, Beach?
I don't.
Okay,
No.
so it was a handheld phone, and the kind of key about it, I don't know, maybe you might even be able to find something online while I'm talking about it. It had like the iTunes Store capability built into it, and this was really Apple's kind of first foray into phones before the iPhone ever came out. Right at the time, like Sony Ericsson phones were really hot. Nokia phones were super hot. The Razr was super hot, and Apple partnered with Motorola for this Razr phone, and it it was clearly not Apple's entire vision, but they were trying to at least they learned a lot from this experience. Fidel talked about it. He said
Look
the
at that
question was,
phone, man.
yeah, 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 that's it.
It's pretty
It
dope.
was hooked up with iTunes, so you could plug it directly in your phone. The question asked him was, did Apple deliberately make the Rocker a poor device? And they're like, no, it was not deliberately made poor, not at all. Fidel says we tried our best. Motorola would only do so much with it. Their software team was only so good. Their operations system, their OS was only so good, and that experience just didn't work very well. It was a clash of all kinds of problems, but it wasn't a case of trying to not make it good. And I think when you hear that, it definitely reinforces the idea of how Apple, excels the best when they control the software and the hardware and all levels of building the phone, which is really what Google has learned, as Android has evolved and as Google as a company has evolved. I mean, their Pixel phone was their first phone where they decided to pretty much control everything. We know that I believe it was the HTC that at least manufactured it, but the design, the software, that's all Google. And every company takes pieces from each other. That's clearly what they learned. But I remember honestly almost wanting to buy that phone because I'm still that guy that at least will try every Apple product one time.
It looks pretty
But I
cool, actually. I mean, it doesn't look ugly or anything. It looks
it's
like
like
one of those old school Nokia phones we all used to
it
use.
was clunky and slow. I mean, I don't even know what it would feel like to use that phone today. Like today, to use that phone,
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know what that
it'd
might
be
feel really crazy.
it'd be kind of. I can see like kids getting retro and like starting to rock like old Nokia phones again. Maybe I'm totally wrong, but I could see kids because the '90s are coming back, you know. So
Oh my goodness, are they?
'90s are coming back, baby.
90s hey, if the music from the 90s comes back,
Oh
all that
yeah.
good, man. I mean, honestly, like rock and grunge and hip hop and R&B, that's I mean, that's some of the heydays of that
Oh yeah,
stuff at
for
least.
sure. Especially hip
Like
hop. '90s hip hop is the
oh,
best.
90s hip hop, good. I mean, I was at a we did a cool story that we're gonna drop later at a Korean barbecue restaurant with robots, and they were playing like 90s hip hop the whole time. I was like, I couldn't even pay attention. I was just feeling it the whole time. Like Aaliyah, oh my gosh, I was like,
That's funny.
okay, I should. Juvenile was up in there. Okay, I'll get back on track.
Juvenile.
Juvenile, man. I got to get back on track. Okay, so let's kind of transition over to kind of what's happening with the new just Apple right now. iOS 11, we know that the public beta came out earlier in the week for both the iPhone and the iPad Pro. I put it on my Pro. Hey, look, I don't recommend people putting betas on their gadgets all the time because some apps end up literally not working and you're stuck like that for. I mean, you can revert back.
It
There's
could
ways to
brick your
do it.
phone or brick your device.
Okay, how about this? Technically, it could. I'm not gonna tell people like, oh, it won't break your device. You know, I'm just saying, just be careful. Just know what you're getting into. But I put it on my iPad Pro, and I'm like, dude, the iPad Pro. Although yeah, it's a little buggy. It's actually made my iPad Pro a little slower in some ways. But damn, it's gonna be hot. Like iPad users, iOS 11, game changer.
Nice.
It's really slick. The other thing is also though Apple also released the public beta of macOS High Sierra.
Oh,
So that public beta is out as well. I would definitely not recommend you install that as your primary OS, but a great thing is if you want to, you should what I always do is actually partition my hard drive. So there's about like a 30 gig segment or chunk on it that I end up installing developer betas of Mac OS on there so I can try them out. It's a really cool way to do it. So if you're gonna do it, at least try partition your hard drive in the disk utility app of your Mac. You can do it there, and then that'll allow you to do that. But the not biggest thing, but I don't understand why they do this. We're showing a video of iOS 11 in action with Scott Stein, and there's this feature that they announced called like the basically where you could flick on the keyboard. And what's cool about that is, a lot of times you have to change your keyboard's characters even on your iPhone, right? Like
yeah.
from the characters to the numbers versus the letters.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in iOS 11, you can flick the keyboard, like kind of flick a key, swipe it instead of just tapping it, and it uses the alternate character now.
Oh, that's awesome. That's super awesome. That saves so much time, man.
But you know what's super not awesome? For whatever reason, they decided not to put it on the iPad Pro 12.9 inch, but they gave it to the 9.7 and the 10.5.
What?
No good damn reason. I
That's
don't
weird,
get
man.
it. I literally don't understand.
Oh, wow.
I don't understand.
So, but do you think it'll come to those devices when they finally release the entire OS, right?
They said it's not supported on the 12.9 inch iPad Pro.
Oh man. So my third
Damn.
generation, like I'm starting to get worried about my third generation, like updating apps, and I'm definitely not going to go to iOS 11 on that. I'll never even be able to. So
That means
why am I even tripping?
it's time to buy.
It's time to buy.
It is time to buy.
I'll wait till
That's
my
all.
kids destroy it completely, then I'll buy one.
All right, check this out for those of y'all watching. This is a really cool thing. Over at Mobile World Congress in Shanghai, Qualcomm announced their new fingerprint scanner technology that goes below the surface, right? That is embedded really into the screen, so there's no physical button. And this is really cool. They showed it off the actual technology in action with company Vivo that makes their own phone. So they showed it as really a proof of concept, and it's why am I showing you this? Yes, this actual technology from Qualcomm will not be used in the iPhone, but it's just a proof of concept. It shows like, look, this is happening. The components that they have here are going to be coming out sometime in 2018. But if they're doing it, obviously Apple has been like trying to crack this nut for I don't know how long. Quite honestly, and they might have been trying to work on this for at least 2, 3 plus years to get this embedded into the glass to make it a single piece. But I thought what was cool is that Qualcomm expects commercial devices using their sensors in early 2018. Also, though, they said that not only could it go under the glass, it could be detected under a combination of metal and glass, and even the fingerprint sensor could work underwater.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
I was like, wow, that's pretty slick.
Yeah, because when I get out of the shower and or I wash my hands, then I'm like locked out of my phone for a few minutes. Unless I put in the code, you know.
You're like drying your finger off just for that. It also says that their new scanner will have ultrasonic scanning. It'll be able to pick up a person's heartbeat and blood flow as an extra measure of security.
That's
So
crazy.
I know.
It's gonna
So
detect your heart. That's
your
scary,
heartbeat and blood flow, Beecham. So
That's great. That's getting back to the Apple taking over the health, the health sector, the healthcare sector, like be able
well,
to,
that's if
monitor someone's blood flow and their heartbeat from that, it's just I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around that right now.
no, I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around it. This is crazy.
Yeah.
But that's Qualcomm sensor. We don't know if Apple's own sensor that they have or that they are working on reportedly will be able to do exactly the same stuff. But Qualcomm just kind of trying to flex their muscle. Like, don't worry, we've got our own. Don't worry, all you Android phones, we got you. That's what they're basically trying to say, right?
Yeah, totally.
So that's always pretty cool. And then just some other. This is something that people want to listen to. iPhone 8 stuff. Okay, so in the iOS 11 files, a new charging sound has been discovered, and I think people will want to hear this. I have the file pulled up or the link for you to go look at, Beach.
Yeah.
But what it is that in this file clip, you'll be able to hear first the original charging sound, and then you're gonna hear this second charging sound, which a lot of people think is the sound for wireless charging, like kind of a cue that tells you that your phone is wirelessly charging because that's a rumored feature. So I don't know. You just let me know when you have that file and just
Okay.
like play it.
I got the blog post right here. I'm gonna go and play the video. Here we go.
And hopefully there's no add-on. Okay, that's the original one. Do it again.
Was
It
that
came
the whole
out
video?
hot.
That was the whole video. Okay, let me try it.
Oh yeah.
Here we go.
Oh yeah, that's it. That's the jam.
That's the new one. The boom.
The like beam me up, like tickle my spine, like touch me in all those places sound. Yeah.
That's cool.
So I know really revolutionary, but that was discovered. And then in other iPhone 8 news, this is good news. I'm hoping this actually happens. But the report is that we know the iPhone comes with like Apple's dinky 5-watt power adapter that charges over USB-C-A that is super slow.
Yeah.
One of the whole right. Everything is always it's got to be faster and slimmer. Well, they have what reports are now claiming, according to Barclays, is that the new iPhone, at least the 5.8-inch OLED phone that we're talking about, will, according to this report, will include a 10-watt USB C charger. So what does that really mean?
Nice.
The charger itself will support a higher voltage, and then it'll also support USB power delivery, which sends the power faster to your phone. So ideally, we're looking at a charging adapter with a USB-C connector, the cable actually being USB-C on one end and Lightning on the other, and then the Lightning port goes in your phone, and it'll charge it a whole lot faster. That's the goal.
That's great.
If it's supporting the 10 watts, it should honestly charge your phone twice as fast. This is really similar to what the iPad Pro has,
Yeah.
the ability to support that fast charging via a USB-C to Lightning cable. So that's got to happen to me. It's got to happen. I'm tired of getting their like cheapy old stupid slow chargers. It's
Totally.
Like, bad.
That's great. It's going to charge fast. The only thing that is going to be a little annoying is that the charger looks like it's a tiny bit bigger, Like it's like a bigger
I thought you
size.
like it. I thought you like it bigger.
Oh, everyone likes it bigger, but not when it comes to charging your, your little adapter.
Your little adapter. Little adapter. And just to tease you, for those who can see this, I know a lot of you really do listen to us. A new video, you guys can look it up. A new video from On Leaks has showed off really probably the best looking render of faux iPhone 8. We should call it iPhone 8 because it's not real yet. It's the iPhone 8. It looks real. I mean, this is exactly like what you expect it to look like. So, I don't know, it's just juicy.
Ooh, I
So
don't
they
like that. I
rotate
don't like
it.
that stand that it's sitting on though. It looks so
That's fake.
looks
That's fake.
scary.
That's just fake. They're just like rotating around. It's looking
Looks
good.
looks exactly like my iPhone 6 except for the lenses.
The lens camera's vertical. It's sleek. Okay,
It's shiny.
whatever.
I like how it's shiny.
Even people that are listening to this, they don't even have to know what it looks like. They already know what it looks like.
I totally.
They know what it looks like.
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna kind of jump through some quick stories here. I found this one to be pretty cool. Apple is believed to acquire German eye tracking firm Motoric. I can't even
These
talk.
glasses look terrible.
Okay, hold up.
Look at
Hold
those.
up, bro. That's not what they're okay. Fine. They have these like big old nerdy glasses in the image in the article. Sensomotoric Instruments, all right? They have eye tracking glasses and systems, not the actual eyeglasses, bro. The systems.
Systems, okay.
The system. So basically, on May 2nd, this is just unearthed. Apple's vice president of corporate law, Gene Levoff. His signature. His signature is basically on this document under like a shell company called Vineyard Capital Corporation,
Mhm.
right? Um, basically, right, incorporating believed to be acquiring SMI, but what they do some really cool tech stuff. Basically it's all about their eye tracking system. So this in the eye tracking world, or at least with HoloLens and VR, there's this function or feature they call it gaze, right? And what it means is when you stare at something, the glasses can not only tell you're looking at something, but if you stare at it for an extended period of time, maybe there's some sort of an option to, you know, stare at your TV, and when you stare for it a little longer, it turns it on. Or menus or options that happen, like, if you're given three choices and you stare at one of the three choices long enough, it basically activates it.
That's funny,
So
man.
they have this natural gaze behavior in real time, technology that can be used in real world situations, a sampling rate of up to 120 hertz. And so that they even have this like tennis video of this boy hitting a tennis ball, but you can see exactly where his eyes are looking. The reason why this is important is because Apple has been rumored to be working and developing on some sort of pair of smart glasses project. Now, yes, Beecham, I hope it doesn't look like that picture. It's not going to look like that
They
picture.
look funny. They do look funny.
But
But
here's
that eye tracking thing's cool. That little it looks like a little target kind of in the middle.
exactly. It sees where you see. Here's what I always find funny. Like people get like, oh, I'll never wear smart glasses. I'll never do this X, Y, and Z. You just have to remember that the phone that we have today is not going to be the phone in 10 years. I think we'll still have some sort of like piece of glass, slate piece that, yeah, might primarily be our phone. But, you know, as we kind of minimize things, AI is going to be really a bigger thing. I don't know if it's going to be something like just a microphone headpiece in our ears. You kind of think eventually the whole idea of a wristwatch strap, if that could actually just be your phone, and you didn't even have to carry anything in your pocket, which it will be an option, that's going to happen. But in 10 years, are we all going to be having just this phone?
I don't know. That's a
to a,
good
to a
question.
certain degree, I think some of us will, but some of us will have actually stuff that's more advanced. I mean, I'm not going to say the phone is disappearing. Let's just be straight with that, right? But the idea of just like a slate that is networked to whatever you're doing around you, whether it's your home or your TV, and it's able to pull down information. Your phone could be your wristwatch, and this could just be the thing that you interact with all your devices for.
Yeah,
And
I'm sitting
it's
here
going to change, though.
I'm sitting here thinking about that, and I'm like, maybe it could be like, a pair of contact lenses, and then like an earpiece and a watch,
Yeah.
and then
It's gonna be
that's
different
all
then.
your communications you need, or something. Who
It's
knows?
gonna be different. Things will change. So like just think about where we were 10 years ago with the original iPhone and where we are now, and then where we would be from a technology jump in 10 more years.
Yeah, think about how we were
That's
texting before the iPhone came out. We were like pressing one like 2 times to get to C or B, and then pressing two a few times. You know, do you remember
oh
texting
yeah,
on like a
yeah.
Nokia phone?
Oh yeah.
It was a
That was
nightmare.
10 years ago.
Right.
So
And now
don't
we're like
don't
swiping and like emojiing.
I mean, don't sleep on this whole like I'll never wear glass. It may not be glass, it might be something different, but it's going to be different, right?
Yeah.
That's just a fact.
I'll wear some
Uh,
contact lenses, man. No problem. Give me some cool, you know,
damn.
augmented reality contact lenses. I'll rock that. And then you
I,
know kids will get all like cool and like start to have like weird LED lights in their eyeballs and stuff and like just all like with the fidget spinner stuff. Like it's
I
just
would
gonna
rock
get
that so
weird.
hard. I would rock that so hard.
You walk into a club, your eyes are glowing red, and everyone's looking at you.
It already happens, quite right. It's like colored,
Yeah,
colored contacts.
totally.
Crazy. Okay, check this out. This is kind of a fun little story. I guess you could call it music service beef, but it is relevant because right, Jay-Z dropped his new 444 album
444.
Fo on Tidal exclusively. Also, like if you're a Sprint subscriber or user, you get access to it earlier. But unearthed in that, I don't have access to it because obviously I'm not on Tidal.
Yeah.
Like I'm not. And guess what? That's fine. I'll just wait for it. Although, everyone is buzzing about it.
You know it'll come to like all the other services in the next week or so.
Well, they got to make money.
Yeah.
I mean, even was it Beyonce's album that was on Tidal for a week or so, and then I think Lemonade was on Tidal also just for like a 1 week, 2 week window before it got into like Apple Music
Everywhere
and things
else, yeah.
like that, and
Same with
iTunes Store.
Same with Kanye. Like Kanye's, I think, was on all the other.
Yeah, really limited
Yeah, real
for
fast.
just for a week or two. Get some buzz. So check this out. Unearthed from his new album, from the track Smile. This is kind of some fun lyrics throwing some shade out, calling out Apple Music's Jimmy Iovine
Oh,
directly.
man. Come on.
It's not gnarly, but all right, here we go. F a slice of the apple pie. Want my own cake, charging my own fate. Respect Jimmy Iovine, but he gotta respect the Elohim, sorry, as a whole new regime. The Elohim is basically like in Hebrew, it's like God. So respect the God as a whole new regime, right? He's trying to say like F Apple Music. It's all about Tidal. Show me love.
I'm happy that he said respect Jimmy Iovine because Jimmy Iovine's incredible, man.
Yeah.
And yeah, he has done a lot for Apple Music and just for music in
The
general.
music in general, right?
Yeah, crazy.
Pretty ridiculous.
But yeah, I mean, that's funny. There's now like gangster or not gangster. He's not gangster rap, but rap has gone from like beefing with like different crews, like West Coast, East Coast, to like beefing with like different platforms. Like Apple Music, what's up? Spotify, coming at you. That's crazy. What's happening right now?
It shows how it's evolved, right? And
it's
also
so
like
funny.
it shows like how Jay-Z's evolved too. This album, from all indications, is a lot more intimate. It's a lot more personal, and it is a little more grown up. So I think it's interesting because, come on, it's Jay-Z, but it's also interesting to see when I actually get a listen to it. And I'm fine. I'll wait a week. I'm not like tripping. I'm not like creating a Tidal account right now again, like of a fake Hotmail address just to get it. But if you talk about some of the true quote unquote real artist rappers, what Kendrick Lamar,
Yeah.
Jay-Z are at the top.
Yes.
I mean, those are two of the top dogs. So you've got it. I think it's just fascinating how, although they want to talk all that, if he really was going to back it up, he just shouldn't put his album on Apple Music or iTunes at all.
It'll end up there. How long do you think it's going to take before it gets?
It's gonna be a week or two.
You think a week?
It's gonna be a week or two.
It'll be on iTunes. It'll be everywhere, all over Apple Music.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be. It's got to be. In some other quick stories, Apple is supporting national parks. This is kind of like a fun little initiative that they're doing. It will donate $1 to the National Park Foundation for every purchase made with Apple Pay at any Apple store. It's a very small. So you basically have to buy something from the Apple Store with your Apple Pay.
Oh, okay. So only if you buy from the Apple Store.
So like if you buy $2,000 of goods and it's just like a MacBook Pro, $1 donated to the National Park Foundation, and you have to use Apple Pay.
Well, that that's pretty cool actually. That would give me but only
Better than
$1. Okay, I see.
you're all wait. Dollar an item?
It
Oh
sounds
yeah, that's
good on paper, but then when you dig in a little
it's like
deeper,
0.0001%,
yeah.
donation. It's better than nothing, I guess. Additionally, on July 15th, Apple Watch users around the world can compete in their walk, run, or wheelchair workout of 3.5 miles, basically to earn awards and stickers for your Messages app inspired by national parks. So
Mm.
it's kind of like these cool icons. I'm
Oh
like, all
yeah.
right, that's cool. It's just kind of fun. You got to show love to national parks. We are so tech centric. It's like honestly, sometimes it sounds really bad, but sometimes I want to tell people that are like all fired up about like, oh, you said this about that. It's like just go take a walk, go outside and take a hike. Like
Go somewhere where your phone doesn't
nature.
work. Out in nature, please.
Seriously, like you and I are going on break pretty soon, which I guess we should say because we don't know what the schedule's like going to be for the show
Yeah.
in the next month. But like I completely shut it down when I'm on vacation.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going.
It's
I'm leaving tomorrow, man. I can't wait. Can't wait to get out of town. Get out of Dodge.
That's nice. That's real nice. So, anyways, go outside, breathe some air. And then finally, this is like kind of a touch on, add on to something we talked about a little while ago. StarCraft Remastered.
Yeah, baby.
We there was like kind of a hint of it, but StarCraft Remastered is landing on Mac OS on August the 14th for 14.99, man.
Ooh, that's a good deal.
It's improved graphics, it's going to have 4K support. Um Crossplay with the original also. Like, I'm fired up about this is my jam from my I mean, I'm dating myself, but from my college days. That was awesome.
That's funny. It said LAN and modern. What did it say there at the end?
Modem
LAN.
modem say modem online play or
Yeah,
modern
something like that. LAN and modern
modern
online.
online.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
goddamn.
Modern online play.
You gotta get that. You gotta get that. So there you go. StarCraft Remastered coming soon.
Fun,
Dig
fun
it.
times.
Should we get to the calls?
Let's do some calls, dude.
All right.
Thank you all for calling.
Remember to be a part of the show, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, 1 800 616 2638. We'll tease that at the end of the show. But this calls you guys make our show. And make sure you're like using your phone properly because we had like 4 or 5 like technical difficulty thingies.
Yeah, we had a bunch of
Couldn't hear
calls.
anything.
Yeah, there were like just really bad connections. So we're sorry, but we got a couple that we're gonna play. So here we go.
All
Number
right.
one.
Hey, Brian. Hey, Beach. This is Steve in Gilroy. So I feel like many Apple users these days are feeling like Apple has lost some of its fire in the last few years. You know, Siri's nowhere near as impressive as Alexa or the Google Assistant. MacBook Pros are kind of a 2 steps forward, 2 steps back kind of a thing. And half-baked releases like AirPods, the TV app, and Brian's favorite, the smart battery case, are all things that kind of weaken the justification for the Apple Premium. So this is how I think users are feeling. But my main question is, what's it going to take for Apple to feel like they need to step up their game? I mean, maybe we're seeing the start of that with the announcement about the modular Mac Pro and some of the iPad features due for iOS 11. But how does that feeling of improvement permeate all of the company's product lines? Thanks a lot. Love the show.
Thank you for calling. I think that it always comes from the top of like what is the vision that, the person driving the company has. And I think whether it was maybe controlled too much by Tim Cook or not, the vision of him is like about operations, optimizing profits, hitting all these different price points, making multiple categories for a single product line to hit all those price points to make the best margins. His grand vision or his biggest thing that he pushed out for him was the Apple Watch. I mean, that was his baby. He kind of made it clear. I think it is still evolving. But if you want to talk about how do you get back that innovative edge, it comes from inside. It comes from the top as well. And until he maybe hands that over to someone who is saying like, okay, we have 3 new product initiatives led by person A, led by person B, and person C. And if people rally around those visions, then I think you'll start seeing new things. I mean, I do like. Again, I like the AirPods. I think they're really, really good. I don't think they're great, but they are really, really good. That is one thing. I think that they're paying attention to at least for whatever reason is like all of a sudden the 10th anniversary of the iPhone made them go, "Oh, we've got to actually do something big." Like they should be thinking like that every year, quite honestly.
Yeah.
And that's how we felt they used to think, but I don't think they necessarily think like that anymore. We have the iMac Pro, which was kind of a miscalculation of how they viewed the Pro machine. So the Mac Pro is coming back. They're learning, but it's I just think that they didn't necessarily have to learn when their loyal customer base is like kind of telling them like, hey, this is what we want. And when you have a company that has that much power, it's kind of like the fat cat. They've kind of shown us that they've acted like a fat cat. So let's get back on track, y'all.
Yeah, I definitely think they have some heat on them from their customers and all their fans, you know. So they're probably working on it. Okay, next call. Here we go.
Hi, guys. This is Jennifer from Oklahoma, and I just wanted to call and say one more thing about Apple Maps. I found this on accident somehow, and you all probably know this already, but when you've programmed in where you're going in Apple Maps, and then your phone turns off and you're driving, if you reach to pick up your phone, which I know you're not supposed to do, but you pick it up, it shows you the map and where you're going on the screen. So it's not just like a little pop-up text message from Google. It is actually the map. And I like that. It's just something cool. It's had me using Apple Maps about 50% of the time now instead of Google. I use them both. But I just thought I'd let people know. Thanks so much. I love the show. Bye.
All right, thank you.
Jennifer, we love you too. Oh my gosh.
That's
I love, you know what? It's so funny how like out of all of the things we've talked to, I feel like Apple Maps has had the most response on calls for people to like, but you know what? It's good though, because we don't use it. I mean, I use it once in a blue moon, but you know, people that are like, no, it does this, it does this, it does like, I didn't know about the lock screen part.
Neither did I. I did not know about that.
So that is Apple Maps lock screen is better than Google Maps. Okay, I said it.
Now I want to try it. I'm going to try it on the way to Tahoe to just see if that works, because, you know, that's kind of a cool tip. But yeah, it's funny. A lot of people have been defending. They're like, we have to call and defend Apple Maps, like big time, you know. So it's pretty funny.
All right. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. That's the show. We'll have to keep you guys updated through our Twitter accounts. You can follow me at Brian Tong. Or Beecham. Aren't you just at Stephen Beecham?
Yeah, at Stephen Beecham. Hit me up. Tweet me.
Summer is coming. We've got some breaks coming on, so we'll have to let you know when we might have a little off and on type stuff for the next few weeks, but come on. We go strong for you. Call us 1-800-616-2638. And I think that's going to do it for this week, buddy.
That's it, man.
We out of here. You out of here.
I'm out of here, baby.
All right. Enjoy your break. Take care, everyone. Be safe. Peace.